And now, after a spectacular night of fights, we get back to work. We continue with this week's UFC fight card, UFC Fight Night. Amir Albazi versus Brandon Moreno. Let's get right into it, but before we do, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, and follow, and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload. Let's go. We start with Malott versus Trevin Giles. Giles is 16-6. His country is United States. He stands at 6 foot tall. He weighed at 192 pounds, and his last win has a reach of 74 inches and a leg reach of 41 inches. While Malott, on the other hand, is 10-1. His country is United States as well. He stands at 6 foot 1 inches tall. He weighed at 182 pounds, and his last win has a reach of 73 inches and a leg reach of also 41 inches. Trevin has a 1 inch reach advantage, while Malott has a 1 inch height advantage. The weight, they're going to roughly weigh the same, so there's no difference. It's fights, that's how it works. When it comes to records, Malott has the less wins. He also has a draw, and he has less losses as well. Giles has 6 more wins and 4 more losses. So Giles has got the experience, but Malott hasn't really lost as much. But let's move on to win buys and see how they've got it done in their previous fights. With Trevin having a 40% KO/TKO, 33% submission, 27% decision with an average fight time sitting around 11 minutes, and a knockdown average of 0. While Malott, on the other hand, has a 40% KO/TKO, 60% submission, 0% decision with an average fight time sitting around 7 minutes, and a knockdown average of 1. Malott hasn't had a single decision win yet, so therefore he is a finisher. Trevin and Mike also have the same amount of KO/TKO percentage, but Malott has a lot higher in submission. So already, just based off of this, Malott, get it taken down, work him down there. Trevin, try and keep it on the feet and try and work him, but be careful, use your defense to make sure that he doesn't land as many punches, because his power is just as deadly as yours. But let's move on to significant strikes to see how they performed on the feet in their last fight. With Mike having an average of 4 punches landed per minute, a 46% significant strikes, an average of 3 punches absorbed per minute with a defense of 52%. While Trevin Giles, on the other hand, has an average of 3 punches landed per minute, 55% significant strikes, an average of 2 punches absorbed per minute with a defense of 58%. Defense wise, it goes in Giles' favor. Absorbing, again, Giles absorbed a lot less. Significant strikes, Giles landed the more higher significant strike. But when it comes to output though, on the other hand, Malott had the better output. So if Malott can bring up the output like he has done in his previous fight, but also add in the significant strikes percentage, make his strikes a lot more powerful, a lot more quicker, a lot more damaging, and if he can just use his defense and up it a little bit, have a better defense for this fight, he could do a lot of damage. It's the same thing with Giles though. I could say the same thing to Giles. He could keep the defense where it is, maybe up it a little bit more, of course. You don't want to get hit in there. He needs to absorb as least as possible. His significant strikes is good, but it can be better, and he can definitely have a much better output. Let's move on to grappling to see how they got it done in the grappling in their last fight. With Malott having an average of 3 takedowns, 60% takedown accuracy, 16% takedown defense with an average of 1 submission. Trevin Giles, on the other hand, had an average of 1 takedown, 50% takedown accuracy, and a 71% takedown defense with a submission average of 0. When it comes to the striking, I feel like Trevin Giles edges it because of the defense, because of the significant strikes percentage, and because of how much he absorbed. Malott, yeah, he can have the output, but the output needs to match up with the defense, so he could struggle there. But when it comes to the groundwork, when it comes to being on the ground, I feel like Malott has the better of it. I feel like he would do a lot better on the ground than he would be on the feet. So I think that Malott should definitely try and get it down, use his 60% takedown accuracy. Maybe Trevin Giles, based off his last fight, had very good takedown defense. Malott had very poor takedown defense, so I feel like Mike should attempt to get a bunch of takedowns, try and get it down, go for a submission, while Trevin should try and defend the takedowns, keep it on the feet. Control time's cool, but I'd say keep it on the feet, try and get him to strike. Maybe win by knockout, or maybe win by a decision. Malott, of course, you want to keep that finishing record up and not go for a decision, but if you cannot get the knockout, get it taken down, go for a submission, and if you can't get the submission, at least get control time, work him on the ground a little bit, work him on the feet a little bit as well, and win by decision. But that's just my thoughts and my opinions. What do you guys think? Who do you think wins now? How do you think win? Apart from that, I'll catch you in a bit. Take care, and peace.